I'm really surprised. I'm giving public speaking skills training. I'm talking about public speaking. I'm a public speaker. But why am I surprised? Because earlier, my public speaking was as clear as mud. Nobody could understand anything. And now, I love to take the floor, the microphone, center stage, in the zone. Now I love to lead, stand up front, to pave the way and do my own stunts. Wow. Now I'm making friends in the light. Oh, public speaking, my delight. They say, an idea is the most powerful thing in the world. But what good is an idea if you cannot convey it properly, if you're not a good public speaker? Political, business, religious leaders, influential and charismatic people, they have been great orators. They develop this art, an art of public speaking. So whatever you do, whoever you are, wherever you are, if you wish to convey your ideas at ease, public speaking has to be a habitude. Now let's make you a wonderful public speaker. Let's take your public speaking to places, and let's start with this formula. Once upon a time, Buddha was having a feast in the village. After this feast, he started going towards the jungle. Villagers stopped him. Please don't go there. Buddha asked why. Villagers said, this jungle belongs to Angulimal, famous kidnapper, robber, murderer. Angulimal would wear the garland of fingers, human fingers. Buddha still went ahead. And he saw Angulimal after some time, but he kept walking. Angulimal yelled, hey, you stop! Hey, you, stop! Buddha said, my dear son, I stopped many years ago. When will you stop? Dialogues, delivery, display. This is the technique used by famous public speakers, good movies, good storytellers. Do you remember Hercules movie where Dwayne Johnson is chained and he breaks the chains and yells, I am Hercules? It was a dialogue and there was a punch, delivery. You'll kill the dialogue if you do not deliver it properly. Like you say, I'm Hercules. So deliver it properly. Do you remember, if you have watched that presentation of Steve Jobs, how he started his famous iPhone presentation? He said, today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. Interesting dialogue. If you want to grab their attention, you want to retain their attention, they're your audience. You want to grab their attention, you want to retain their attention, you introduce dialogues, you introduce catchphrases, you deliver it properly, you live the characters, only then you display it properly. Dialogues, delivery, display. But how would you do it? Well, this next step might answer. So let's go to I. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who practices one kick 10,000 times. Bruce Lee. Iteration. Iteration is repetition. Repetition is mother of all skills. Wherever you go, you iterate, you repeat, you iterate, you repeat, you iterate, you repeat. That's what I do. Public speaking is my shadow. Wherever I go, this goes along with me. I'm going to my home, telling stories to my kids. They are happy, but I'm practicing my public speaking in reality. I share anecdotes, I tell stories, I read. Whatever I read, I practice, I repeat, I iterate. Whatever I watch, I practice, I repeat, I iterate. I watch interesting movies, I practice, repeat, iterate interesting dialogues. You remember The Godfather? Don Corleone. I'm going to make him an offer he cannot refuse. You remember Pursuit of Happiness? You got a dream, you got to protect it. You remember that famous speech from Martin Luther King Jr.? I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up. Wow, the way he delivered. Dialogues, delivery, display, repetition. That's the greatest secret of all public speakers. Demosthenes iterated, repeated. Abraham Lincoln iterated, repeated, wherever they went. Maya Angelou, Oprah Winfrey. You name a speaker, they iterate, they repeat. Then this happens once iteration becomes their lifestyle. This third tip will give you an answer, the magical answer. You guys are absolutely wrong. You guys believe samosa is North Indian food? No. It was introduced by Mughals in India. That's how one of the students, he delivered his talk. His first statement, startling statement. You guys are absolutely wrong. He didn't say, thanks for having me. I'm going to talk about samosa. Samosa is famous North Indian food, you know. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to share this. No. People like surprises. People like startling statements. Ex-CEO of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer, you know how he started his presentation? He came on the stage and for a minute or two, he just kept yelling, he kept dancing. Everybody was startled. They were astounded, astonished. They were flabbergasted. What the hell is happening to this man? And then he started his presentation. People like surprises. We also like surprises in our life. So if your talk doesn't have a surprise, doesn't have a startling statement, people might not appreciate it. But don't overdo it. Otherwise, it is not a surprise anymore, right? Do not overdo it. But yes, startling statements help. These statements help you grab their attention. Like one of the guys, he was giving a presentation on fashion. So for first 5 minutes, he just kept changing the dresses on the stage. And everybody was surprised, what the hell is happening? What is he doing? That was a good move because he was going to talk about fashion. Then one of the speakers, he just didn't speak at all for a minute or two. He went mum chams. Nothing at all. People were curious. What's wrong with this guy? Why is he not speaking anything? Has he forgotten his speech? Has he forgotten everything? Is he even here? People like surprises. You like surprise parties, right? So these startling statements, these surprises in your talk, curiosity in your talk will always play an important role, will bring back your audience, even if they've lost the pace. So make sure you introduce these startling statements. You surprise your audience. The next tip is the most important. So don't go anywhere because you're going to like it. You're going to appreciate it. You're going to love it. There are two systems basically in our brain. System 1, System 2. System 1 is characterized by cognitive ease, where things come easily. This is the strategy used by coaches, great marketers, salespeople, great CEOs, fantastic leaders. They know this System 1 because System 1 in our brain is characterized by cognitive ease. So, to convince people, to persuade people with the talk, they tell stories, they share anecdotes, they use analogies, they use metaphors, similes, they use many more such strategies. By the way, if you wish to know more about metaphors, similes, analogies, check the link in the description below. We have a wonderful blog on our website. Okay, let's come back. So there are two systems in the brain. System 1 is characterized by cognitive ease. System 2, cognitive strain. This is one of the biggest mistakes of public speakers. They do not understand these two systems. So what they do? They present a lot of data without stories, without analogies. Now our brain has to work a lot, which our brain hates doing, but our brain has to work a lot. It gives us a strain because we have to remember the data. We are presented with so much of information. It becomes really hard for us to remember. And what do you want as a public speaker? That your talk, your most important points should be remembered, right? You want to deliver a memorable talk. So remember these two systems of the brain. System 1, System 2. System 1 is characterized by cognitive ease. System 2 is characterized by cognitive strain. So use System 1. Tell a story. Share anecdotes. Present data with the help of analogies, made of metaphors, similes, many more such strategies. Stay away. Try your best to stay away from System 2. Because our brain hates doing. Our brain hates remembering. Even if the data is important, but this doesn't have any relevance, any connection, our brain doesn't remember. That's why I said, this is the most important tip. That's where most of the public speakers lack. They forget these two systems of the brain. And I hope I have delivered you something of importance. And I hope you have a wonderful public speaking career. I hope that you become a wonderful public speaker. Okay, wonderful people, it's time to say goodbye. And by the way, if you want even more exclusive content, hit the join button below. And we have an interesting read for you. Master the Art of Public Speaking. Check its link in the description.